Good afternoon, Fabian Anetti for Winston Capital, and we're going to cover the week of March 18 through the 22nd. The week started with, the big comments of Deutsche Bank and Commerzbank having official comments. Stocks rallied, but then kind of petered out, and there was no much to go on. IPO madness. A lot of things going on in that front, with the friendly market and the friendly Fed that we're going to talk later on. We have a good level of activity in the capital markets. Lyft is heavy on the roadshow, or hot on the roadshow. Company 2.1 billion in sales, double revenue in year, but still it went from losing 700 million to losing 900 million dollars. However, 18 million drivers, tripled the number of drivers that had before, and they're talking about a 23 billion market cap. Uber is behind it. We will see the numbers and the growth and the story. Pinterest, it's out there. And then over the end of the week, we'll talk later, we had a great by Levi Strauss, the old company of jeans. So very positive for the capital markets. PayPal, one of our favorite companies, we recommended in October around $60, reach 100, 102, 103. And again, we keep on that bet. We like the story of the online paying system. They're going more and more cashless. Not completely, but things like Venmo makes life easier for everybody to share money and this and that, send money to friends. PayPal makes the experience of buying in the internet easy, and we like it. Now, it's a lot of competition in that field. There is a lot of big monsters like the super banks with their own products, Sele, and then you have the credit cards like Master, Visa, American. So this is a place for big 800-pound gorillas, not for young people, but we still like it, and the company is doing very well. The big thing, one of the big things, was a meeting between Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil and President Trump in the United States. Very important. These are two guys from the right. They're not center right. You can even say they might be far right, but definitely right. Like-minded heads. Brazil will become a strategic ally, military speaking, of the United States. They even mentioned NATO membership. Yeah, who knows that? But the main point on the agenda was Latin American security, focus on Venezuela, change of regime, narco traffic, human trafficking, etc. So good start. Market was bullish there on the news. I mean, it's been bullish, but clearly this is somehow it was anticipated, and it did happen. There is some working on some agreements, especially on agribusiness and some technology in terms of trade. But over the end of the week, President Temer of Brazil was arrested. He has been implicated on the Lava Jato, has some sort of immunity, but finally they got him. So arrested. The market, reacted negatively on the news and then recovered a little bit. This is, the issue is that as Jair Bolsonaro faces very big structural changes that he wants to do, he needs the votes on the Congress. By Temer being in jail, his party might not support it. We will see to that and see what's the story there. But the big thing of the week obviously was the Fed. Everybody went in thinking that not much was happening, quiet, no change in rates. The Fed's going to say we're going to be flexible looking at the data. However, big surprise, the Fed says no increase in rates for the rest of the year, which was not what most of the market was thinking. Most of the market was thinking like one increase, maybe two. All the big banks were talking about that. So clearly, this is high impact on everything that's interest rate related. And not only the US went from like 260 to 249 in the 10-year rate, but you have Germany touching zero on the 10-year and Japan going negative on the 10-year and some other countries as well. Right now, there is about $10 trillion of debt that are in negative yield, places like the euro, Swiss franc, Swedish krona. So very interesting. Obviously, the dollar went down at the beginning of the news, as expected. No rates will reduce the differential with the euro and other currencies. And clearly, another positive this is a very big positive for emerging markets. A quiet Fed on rates, a dollar to stable from slightly down is nothing but good music for the commodity producers and the commodity exporters. And on that topic, We like the markets, as you say. We've been constructive. We've been kind of waiting in the wait and see. But here we like it. We think, despite the correction on Friday a little bit, and the turbulence because of the China-U.S. conversation, we think that we have one less thing to worry about, which is the Fed. And as you always remember, never fight the Fed. We have good news on that front. So now we will have to worry about the economy. Is the economy really picking up? Is picking up less? Clearly on Friday, bad news from Europe, took the markets down, and kind of the fear that could be global. Because what we've seen so far is a global phenomenon. China, US, Europe decelerated, everybody followed. Now they are kind of recelerating over the end of the quarter, and looks like everybody's following. You see on the metals, you see on demand. So clearly we will now sort of be climbing a wall of worries in terms of what's happened on the growth front, but at least we don't have the Fed out there, so we like it. China-U.S. negotiations is another yin yang. Looks like the Brexit deal. We have it, we don't have it. The deal is coming, it's not coming. The latest as of Thursday night was that President Trump said, well, maybe we keep the tariffs here for a while and we'll see what happens. So no one really knows. The market is very jittery about that. I would say wait and see, because we have not a single piece of real news on what are these guys negotiating. Big rumors, Apple had a big rally over the week, started with Morgan Stanley saying that they're confident that the slowdown in China stopped and they are picking up. But also, it looks like the company has done a lot of buyback of their own shares, which is always very positive. The stock was up. But the big news talking about technology was Google. They announced this new playing platform, Stadia. And here's the thing, gaming, $130 billion business. You need big hardware at home, especially on the video front. You need these NVIDIA video cards and all that, so your computer can really process very fast all the video. Here's the thing, Google has way bigger and more computer power than your PC at home. That's known. The problem is how it gets to your home, through the internet. The internet so far is okay for that. No one is really playing on that. But as 5G gets spread around the world with speeds over a gigabyte per second of transmission, and the issue of latency, the response back and forth, also diminishing, which is also key for self-driving cars, by the way, then you can argue that we will use super massive Google computer power, super fast internet to play, and it's going to be better because of community games and this and that. However, there is still not a single piece of software or game in that space, and they made the announcement, which was kind of discounted. As we know, these companies are looking not for next year or next 2 years. They might be looking 2, 5, 6, 7 years. Remember Netflix was doing CDs, and then it got into streaming. No one really believed a lot in the whole story. Now basically there is no more CDs and everything is streaming. Because why? Internet is reliable and we can use it. So if we got a much faster and better internet, maybe what you're gonna get is a super fast Google gaming. Now, the winner so far has been Advanced Micro Devices. We like it. We've been looking at the stock. We don't own it. We may buy it next week because it looks like they are the providers of all these chips for this massive computer parallel processing, whatever. Because it's years in advance, but you have to start by building the infrastructure like right now. And finally, on the close of the market, what everybody thought was going to be another postponement of Brexit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months. Theresa May only asked for 2 weeks, so mid-April, to bring a deal to the European Union. So who knows, kind of boring on that. It's like the China-US negotiations, but that's what happened over actually in the EU on Thursday night. That's all we had. Thank you very much. Have a good week. And for our clients, 8:45 a.m. every day live, and more information in our pages, winston.capital. Have a great weekend.